दीपक मु सुबा जाउची तो अरे
यस मैडम सुबह जाउची
अच्छा हो ओके अरे स्टूडेंट्स टिके लेट हैला ड्यू टू द इंटरनेट कनेक्शन नो मोर मु लेट है इंटरनेट लेट है जी wait a moment see last class we have discussed no what HR human resource planning na in second unit we have discussed human resource planning today we will discuss recruitment and selection acha I hope the slide is visible to you students see already we have completed the unit 1 right and in unit 2 we have completed in the last class human resource planning and human resource planning it relates to demand forecasting and supply forecasting already we have completed and based on the human resource planning we can go for the recruitment right when the human resource planning activity and at that point of time the recruitment activity can start in the organization and this is the work of the HR department right now as per the demand of the human resource no how many the number of manpower we require for the organization so basing on this we can go for the recruitment. Now what is recruitment? See, recruitment means searching the candidate. Recruitment means identify the right candidate for the right job. Recruitment means basically we can out of many candidates no we can go for the different we can adopt different source through this we can attract the candidate for the organization. So ultimately recruitment means it is the searching the candidate, it is attracting candidate and it is basically identify the candidate out of many candidates in a market. No, we can identify the candidate where we can where the best candidate are there, and out of many candidates we can select right candidate for the right job, and while we will go for the selection. So ultimately, recruitment is the process of searching the prospective employee, searching the prospective candidate. We can search the candidate. No, where is the candidate? The candidate are there in the different area. No, where is the candidate that we will discuss right now? Koudhi ame search kariba. So search ma'am koudhi to puni kariba na. So ame komti search kariba. How we can search the candidate that we will discuss right now. So it is the ultimate thing is it is the searching the candidates, searching the employees and stimulating them. Stimulating means what? Stimulating means encouraging. No, we can who encouraging? The organization encouraging the candidate. The organization different different company, different job seekers, no different basically what? The recruiter organizations encourage the candidate and apply for a job in the organization. So basically we can say it is the on a process where the recruiter company can search the prospective candidate, prospective we can say employees, no, and stimulating them, encourage them to apply for the post that created by the organization. Now, how the company, how the organization can search the prospective candidate and how the organization can stimulate the candidate, that we will discuss in the different what? The types of recruitment. See, the types of recruitment or we can call as a sources of recruitment. Types of recruitment, sources of recruitment, methods of recruitment, all are similar. But we will discuss only the one factor we can divide into variety things, no? So how? See, the sources of recruitment, we can go for the internal sources and external sources. How we can search the candidate, how we can search the prospective candidate for the organization. Now, based on the, we can go for the different factor. Basing on this, we can search the candidate. Now, what are the factors? We can go for the internal type or external type, we can go for the internal sources and external sources, right? See, the internal sources, we can search the candidate through a reference, employee reference, transfer, and promotion. Though it is an internal factor, no, those employees are, those persons are involved in the internal, internally, no, the inside the organization. We can use the candidate, we can use them, and we can basically select the right person in the right job. Now, how? See, reference and recommendation is the one internal factor where through these the organization can fill their vacant post, right? So it is internally we can fill the vacant post. Now what do you mean by reference and recommendation? See, a reference, it relates to, basically we can say, no, those, we can use the personal contact, right? It means what? See, suppose we can say those employees are working in the organization already. Now they can inform their friends and nearest and dearest कि such kind of vacancies it is there in our organization. Basing on this, the organization can fill the vacant post. It means what? What I told you. So they can use, the organization will not invest much more amount towards recruitment. No. So without investment of money, we can fill the vacant post, and it is reference and recommendation, right? So where we can use the personal contact. Personal contact means what? Those employees are working inside the organization. They can inform their nearest and dearest friends, no, and other people. So basing on this, the possible vacancy of the organization can be filled. The possible vacancy the organization can fill based on this factor. So this is what the employee reference or recommendation. Through this, we can fill the vacant post. In present environment, it is basically highly accepted by all the organization. Apart from this, we can add a transfer and promotion factor. No, basing on this also we can fill the vacant post. Transfer and promotion. See, promotion, we can identify how many, what are the vacancies already I have discussed in the supply forecasting factor. No, we can identify the number of vacancies it is there in the organization. And here, what we will do, we will not go to the outside organization and we will not go for the fresh recruitment. We can manage the people, we can adjust the people inside the organization through transfer and promotion. No, promotion, it is the basically what? Lower level to higher level position, and it is a vertical dimension of the employees, and transfer basing on the horizontal dimensions of the employee. No, and it is the same direction. We can fill the vacant post, and we will not go to the outside organization. So basing on the transfer and promotion, we can fill the vacant post inside the organization, and it is the internal sources. So internal sources, it is based on the three factor. One is the employee reference. Through we can use the internal employee, and they can recommend their nearest and dearest. Basing on this, we can fill the vacant post. Apart from this, we can go for the transfer and promotion to fill the vacant post internally, right? If this is, if, no, somehow, if this factor, it may not be effective sometimes. How? Because, no, if the existing employees, those are there in the organization, they're not sufficient, they're already overloaded, then what we will do? We have to go to the outside organization and we have to adopt the fresh recruitment. The mane kono? Organization is already loko bahut overburden niki achanti. So ame kon kariba? Now we have to go to the outside organization and we can go for the external recruitment. Right? Already human resource planning re kahiteli. Jete ame external recruitment jiba, to kon kariba? Now we can adopt the advertisement. Advertisement, kon advertisement? Now advertisement, basically we can say, no, advertisement, it may be the newspaper advertisement. Advertisement, it may be the radio and internet advertisement. Advertisement, it may be the TV advertisement, television, no, advertisement. Variety kind of advertisement we can adapt and we can accept in that particular area, right? So ultimately we can adapt the newspaper, we can adapt the TV, we can adapt radio, we can adapt internet, no, variety type of things we can adapt here, and we can give our advertisement in different, these are the different source we can adapt here, and we can give our advertisement. So this is all the, or it may be the print media, or it may be the electronics media. Through the organization can provide the what, the advertisement, and basing on this we can hire the manpower. See, here basically we can say, no, suppose advertisement, it relates to, suppose people are saying why the radio, internet, no, radio, TV, newspaper, variety kind of things adopted by the organization. No, suppose we can say those people are working in the staying in the rural area, at that particular area, no, may sometimes, no, it may be possible, so people are highly accepted, no, involved and depend to newspaper and radio in comparison to TV and internet, no. ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ସେତେଟା connectivity ନା internet ଆଉ TV ର, ତ ସେମାନେ କାହା ଉପରେ depend କରନ୍ତି, they depend on newspaper and radio. So most of the time they depend on radio, no. That's why organization also try to give advertisement in the radio, so that internal people, those people are staying in the interior area, they can aware about such kind of vacancies it is there in the organization, right? Suppose आमे कहबा मैम सेमती किछि कोन एरिया अछि का डेट रे भी अछि जोटा कि टोटली समान पाखरे न्यूज़पेपर ना टीवी ना अछि, जोटा कि आमे तमे पळेबो मालकानगिरी, नो, मयूरभंज, जोटा ना हमर से जो गोटे आसनी दमन मूवी देखिबो, विचिन्न अंचल जते सब अछंती 150 विलेज, नो, दमन मूवी रे पूरा सेटा को पूरा देखै छी पूरा क्लियरली, नो. सो से सब जदी जिवो से एरिया को, नो, so basically सेटी कोन कहूची, नो, people are highly depend on basically what, they don't have that much of internet connectivity, no, they don't have that much of what, television facility, so they more depend towards radio, no, and somehow the newspaper. So basing on this, the organization can providing the advertisement in the radio. So basing on this, they can aware about such kind of vacancy, it is there some kind of organization, right? So this is the basically we can say the radio. And TV, through television also advertisement is there, no, most you can the most of the government sector organizations, suppose we can say the Indian Army, Navy, Air Force, police, so these are the advertisement, it is there in the TV. So most of the government sector vacancies, government sector organization, they prefer to give advertisement using television, right? And apart from this, the most important factor is the advertisement. There is the newspaper, and it is basically what, the newspaper advertisement, it is highly, because it is there, it is applicable in the rural area as well as the urban people. So everybody aware about the newspaper, and the organization can give advertisement using the newspaper. It may be the local newspaper or it may be the national newspaper. It's depend, no, semanଙ୍କ ଉପରେ depend କରୁଛି, ସେମାନେ local ରେ ଦେବେ, local means we can go for the samaj sambad kind of things, and it is national, we can go for the Times of India, New Indian Express, many kind of newspapers are there. So what kind of category of people we need, no, whether आमे local लोक पिला चाहूचे कि आमे national level ର पिला चाहूचे, को type ର न चाहूचे, से type ର आमे advertisement देई परिबा, where na in the newspaper. So these are the different sources of advertisement. We can use the electronic media and print media, and we can give our advertisement using this factor, and basing on this we can create awareness and search the candidate in the market. Apart from this, the educational institutions means what? See, educational institutions, we can say, no, it is the another source of recruitment. Now what educational institution? Some company, suppose suppose we can say, no, educational institutions means it is a campus recruitment first. Now what do you mean by campus educational institutions and campus recruitment? See, some recruiter company organization, they can visit the different university and college, and basing on these they can search the candidate and they can basically hire the candidate also. So here, suppose we can take the example. Here the Tata can visit IIT, IIM, no? So IIT, IIMs, no? Tata can visit in that particular organization, that particular institutions, and basing on this, they can search the candidate, and basing on this, they can hire the prospective candidate for the organization. Suppose we can say कि some other organization can visit, some different companies can visit different universities. Suppose got a company as like Utkal University, no? Well, the company will come Utkal University, and basing on this also, the company can hire the candidate. So that particular area. So ultimately, the educational institutions means it is the campus recruitment. Organization can search the candidate through this. And it, the campus recruitment, again, it is the on-campus, off-campus, variety kind of things are there. Basing on this, also the organization can fill their vacant post. They can move the reputed institutions, reputed educational means university, right? And basing on this, they can pick the prospective candidate and fill their vacant post, right? Then in front of factory gate and labor market. Now, what do you mean by in front of factory gate and labor market? See, in front of factory gate means here the company can fill the vacant post, whatever may be the vacancy it is there in the organization, it can display in the notice board or the factory gate where the employees, the entry and exit area, no? Employees entry and exit area, it means it may be the factory gate or it may be the notice board of the organization. It can display in the notice board and in front of the in the factory gate where the entry and exit people are entry and exit area is there, no? Basing on this, also the organization can fill the vacant post. How it can be possible? No, while we can display in the notice board what are the vacancies it is there in our organization. So what will happen? So those are the existing employee, they can aware about the vacancy, and also they can what? They can inform to other people through reference and recommendation also, no? Inform to the other people, and the organization can fill the vacancy and vacant position, right? So what we will do here? Now we can give our entire things, whatever may be the requirement it is there in the organization, entire things we can display in the notice board. Or else, entry exit of the employees at that particular area. So everybody they aware about that particular things, no? Basing on this, we can fill the vacant post also, right? So this is what the in front of factory gate. Management consultancy, employment exchange, no? Another source of recruitment. Management consultancy, basically we can say it is the private body, no? Private one kind of third party, no? Private organization. So the consultancy, private consultancy, we can say the private consultancy, it is a third party kind of things where the consultancy can visit to different organizations and also can visit to different institutions, educational institutions, where the consultancy, management consultancy can inform. Now, what are the vacancies it is there in the organization? It can inform to the what? The candidate, and basing on this, the consultancy can send the candidate to the organization, and the organization can fill its vacancy post. बुझी पालो? See, it is simple kata kon कहली. It is a third party. मैं जितने method को जीविस third party रही. Consultancy, it is a private consultancy. Management consultancy means controlled by and that is created by the private body. But a private body taku gote करिथिबो, no? Where that is that approval by the government. Government approval नहीं थिबो, no? But it is a private controlled by the private body. Se kon karibo. Now that management consultancy, the private consultancy can contact to the students and as well as they can contact to the different organization. So based on this, the consultancy can send the candidate to the organization and ता माने नहीं कि से सेंड कला कैंडिडेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को ता माने नहीं कि कैंडिडेट सिलेक्शन नहीं कले नो सिलेक्शन क्राइटेरिया इज डिफरेंट but we can send some candidate. Basing on this the organization can identify whether based on the selection who will be the best candidate, and the organization can select the candidate based on the selection procedure. But it is the one factor. Basing on this we can send the candidate for the organization, and it is the middleman playing role as a middleman, right? That is the management consultancy. Employment exchange, no, it is another factor where that the employment exchange, basically we can say it relates to the government sector. No, employment exchange that created by the government and that is controlled by the government also. Employment exchange. So it is now employment exchange. So whatever may be the vacancy, it is there in the government organization. Suppose vacancy it is there in the NTPC, NALCO. No, these are the vacancies. It is there in the any kind of armed force, police. So whatever may be the vacancy, it is there in the government organization. Now we can go through the employment exchange and we can register our name in the employment exchange. It is there in every area, every district. And basing on this, we can aware about the what are the vacancy. It is there in the government sector. Employment exchange, one newspaper is also there by the government. So basing on this, we can aware about such kind of vacancies. It is there in the government organization, and through we can eligible. If we are eligible, we can apply for the particular post. Right. So see, dear students, these are some sources of recruitment. How we can aware the candidate, how we can search the candidate, prospective candidate, how we can basically what stimulate the candidate. Everything it can be possible through only the sources of recruitment. Sometimes the organization try to fill the vacant position through internally. If the internal sources, internal types is not sufficient, no, then we can go for the external sources and types, where we can adapt different character, no, as per our requirement. We may go for the advertisement, we may go for the educational institutions, we may go for the employment exchange, no. So it depends what type of organization and what type of sources they want to adapt. Already I told you, if the government want to create some kind of the government having some kind of vacancy, no, they can go for the what? They can go for the employment exchange or TV, no, newspaper kind of things. But private vacancy, they can also go for the advertisement, newspaper advertisement, but they cannot use the employment exchange things. No. In front of factory get labor market. So here we can basically what? Eti ame kono sophisticated high-fi lokonko eti recruitment kari pariba, no. In front of factory get and labor market means if we need the lower level category, labor, worker category of things, no. So then we can adapt this kind of factor. So different for the different category of people and different organization having adapting different kind of sources. It's depend on the organization. Ko type ame category loko chahunche au kon organization amar. Ame government sector, so ame ko type ko kaha ko prefer kariba, no, kaha ko ame prefer kariba, give the advertise. Ame ko kaha ko prefer kariba for recruitment. Private organization kaha ko ame ye kariba, adapt kariba. को कैटेगरी एम्प्लॉयर गोटे आम टॉप लेवल पोजीशन को चाहूचे सो कहा को आम अडॉप्ट करबा लोअर लेवल गोटे वर्कर चाहूचे कहा को अडॉप्ट करी नो सो इट्स कंप्लीटली different kind of source. It can use in a different area. So these are the different type and sources of recruitment, but sometimes also we can use na the methods of recruitment. Modern method वाकिन आमे जानिचे, but आमे इठी mostly आमे नबा कोना the method of recruitment, that is again divided into two parts, that is internal method and external method. Internal method of recruitment already I have discussed, that related to transfer, promotion and employee reference. Basing on this we can fill the vacant post in our organization, right? But external method, it is again divided into three parts. Now it is basically what? Direct method, indirect method and third party method. Sei sources को sei type को ही हमें again divide करचे दुई प्रकार कौन ना sources कहूची types कहूची जहाँ sources असला ता हम types असला right ता छड़ा हमें जदी method को जिबा ना suppose in your examination the question will come what are the different methods of recruitment. No, these are the same things we can divide into two ways. So methods of recruitment, again, it is classified into two categories. One is the internal method, second one is the external method. And internal method, it related to transfer, promotion, and employee reference, already I told you. And external method, again, divided into three parts: direct method, indirect method, and third party method. Acha. Direct method kaun kahuchi? Now, direct method, it is the basically we can call as a campus recruitment and factory gate. In front of factory gate, that is a direct recruitment. Campus recruitment. Organization direct asibo, to amuko recruit kariki neki jibo. Edi kei involvable. Tata asila Utkal University, asiki se ta candidate ko, Tata asila Utkal University, jo procedure ta ko ame kahile recruitment, that is a campus recruitment. How the candidate now to identify the best candidate that we can go for the selection. Tata asila Utkal University, right? जो procedure ta se follow kala na, the process ta ko, so that is the campus recruitment, right? So it is a direct recruitment, direct kind of recruitment. The company, the basically what they can select where we will go, where we can move, what are the organization, what are the universities, educational institutions are there, and basing on this they can hire the right candidate. And factory gate is also a direct recruitment. जोटा कि हमें कोड डिस्प्ले करिबा in front of the in front of the factory gate and labor market, we can display in the notice board. Notice board हमें display करिबा what are the vacancies it is there in the organization. So this too is the direct recruitment. If we will go to the indirect recruitment, advertisement is the indirect recruitment. Advertisement, again, all the advertisement, all category of advertisement. It means what? It means newspaper advertisement, TV advertisement, radio advertisement, any kind of advertisement. So all print media and electronics media, everything is included in the indirect method, and it relates to advertisement. Third party method, it relates to what? That is the employment management consultancy and employment exchange. Both the things are related to third party, no? Management consultancy is a third party that is used by the private sector, no? And employment exchange is also a third party that is basically what? Controlled by and used by the government sector. So any kind of government vacancies it is there in the government organization, they can use the employment exchange. Any kind of private sector vacancy it is there, then we can use the what? The management consultancy. So these two things is related to third party. So this is all about your types, methods, and sources of recruitment. So what is recruitment and what are the sources, types, and methods of recruitment? Types asle taku lekhibo, sources asle taku lekhibo, a method asle kon karibo, aku puni again divide kartabo. So this is all about your recruitment. जोटा कि हमें already complete करी देले, right? Then we can go for the last time 5 minutes, 10 minutes time debi, then you can ask the question. Then when the recruitment, no, the criteria of recruitment, the sources of recruitment, types of recruitment that are adopted by the organization, once it can over now, then we can go for the selection. Once recruitment over, then we can go for the selection. Jodi recruitment stop, then start kariba, selection start. Right? Kon selection kariba, now how we can select the candidate? What are the steps we will adopt to select the candidate? That we will discuss it. Right? And see students, recruitment, it is always, we can call as a positive aspect, and selection, it is also always, we can call as a negative aspect. How? Recruitment is negative, recruitment is positive and selection is negative. Kemiti? See, recruitment is positive because while the organization will search the candidate, it will search karibo candidate, adopted different sources, amaro method adopt karibo. No, at that time, as much as candidate, they can apply for the vacant position. No? Ma'am, how it can be possible? सपोज आमे कहबा गोटे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे 10 टा पोस्ट खाली अछि, राइट? एडवर्टाइजमेंट बाहर कला न्यूज़पेपर रे केतेटा वी हैव 10 वैकेंसीज. No, these are the vacancies and we need this category of people. कौन से this category of people कौन तापे से criteria fix कर देथिबो. criteria कौन fix करथिबो ना criteria हला we need a MBA graduate, right, with 5 year experience, with career first class, right? Then that पाखरे technical knowledge थिबो, जे computer expert थिबो, computer AA knowledge जानि थिबो, no, एमती कहि कि से कोन करथिबो पूरा criteria fix कर देछि, right? So सेठी कोन करिवे 10 टा पोस्ट अछि, no, as much as 10 टा ही कैंडिडेट कोन अप्लाई करिवे, no, एमती कहा जिवो कि no, only 10 candidate you can apply for the vacant position. समथि तो no. So 10 vacancies is there, it may be applied by many candidates. It may be 100, it may be 1000, it may be 5000, it may be much more number of candidates they can apply for the vacant position. तापे कोनोसी बाउंड्री नै कि तापे कोनोसी तमरो कि no, you cannot apply for the vacancy. जी चाहेला apply कर पारे, right? That's why सब बेले कहा जाउची कि recruitment is a kind of positive factor. Once recruitment over, we can go for the selection, and selection we can, it is why it is negative factor, because we can reject as much as candidate. समस्त को आमे रिजेक्ट करिबा, right? केते जन को सिलेक्ट करिबा only out of many candidate, no, out of pool, no, many candidate we can select only 10 because our requirement is 10. सेटा तुमे एक्सटर्नल रो जो फैक्टर को जाओ जाओ, एडवर्टाइजमेंट जाओ, कैंपस रिक्रूटमेंट जाओ, whatever may be the things you will adapt here, no? So only you need 10. So basing on this, what you will do, you can reject all the candidates. And how you can reject all the candidates? केमिति reject करियो एमति कहबो कि नो तुम आसिला पळनो गेट लॉस्ट, तुम हमर दरकार नै, सेमति त हमें कहि परिबनी, हम त किछुटी क्राइटेरिया अडॉप्ट करिबा. सो केमिति क्राइटेरिया अडॉप्ट करिबा? वंस रिक्रूटमेंट आसी गला सरी गला, then हमें सिलेक्शन केमिति जिबा. Now see selection, what do you mean by selection? Selection means it is basically what? Screening the candidate. सेडी हमें कोन करथिले, सेडी हमें सर्च करथिले candidate. कोठी recruitment रे. Recruitment is searching the candidate. Selection is screening the candidate and choosing the best one for the vacancy of the organization, vacant position of the organization. Out of many candidates, 1000 candidates, we need only 10 candidates, right? So out of 1000 candidates, we only identify the 10 candidates for the organization. And how we can do this, how we can screen the candidate, how we can choose the most suitable candidate for this vacant position of the organization. Now here we can adopt a variety kind of factors. Now we can adopt some process of selection, right? Got a process I made adopt kariba selection ra, jothire ki ame kon kariba, no, we can identify the best candidate for the organization. Kona process adopt kariba? See, the process of selection, jodi ame jiba, this is a continuous process and this is a step-by-step process. Basing on this, we can select the best candidate for the organization. Out of many, no, applicants pools are there. Out of many, we can identify the best one. How? First one is a screening of application. Now, what do you mean by screening of application? Definition. Ame kon kariba? Na ame screen kariba. Screening of the candidate. Kemti screen kariba? How we can screen the candidate? See, students. Jitram advertisement deitiba, no? While the company will give advertisement, or it may adapt whatever may be the source for recruitment. So at that time, the company may fix some criteria. Already I told you. What is the criteria? The criteria is MBA graduate with this specialization. Specializations are also mentioned. It may be mentioned by the organization. No, with experience, with your basically technical knowledge, with your career, everything it may mention by the organization. Definitely say mention karibo, 100% mention karibo. Who is eligible and who may not be eligible for the vacancy. Say to kon karibe, variety kind of people may apply for the particular position. Karana, ame to seti kagu mana kari paribani. Ame kahiba ki no, you cannot apply for the vacancy. No, any kind of people they can apply. So any kind re kiya asila. For example, dharo kahiba, company kahitila 5-year experience is mandated. So some people it may more than 5 year kahitila. Some people it may be freshers. Some people having 1 to 2 year experience, they may also can apply for the vacant position. हाँ apply करथिबा काले company accept करी दबो हैला से भाबी कि समाने कोन करथिबे समाने apply करथिबे से particular post को हैला. Apart from this, suppose they मागिथिला कोन ना specialization हैला HR आउ finance सेटु कोन करथिबे marketing वाला भी apply करथिबे जार HR marketing अछि समाने भी apply करथिबे, right? Suppose से कहथिला career first class, so सेटु के हां सब फर्स्ट क्लास अछि प्लस 2 रे कोन अछि ना टिके कमी जायछि मार्क 2-3% कमी जायछि, सो अप्लाई कर दिए काला एक्सेप्ट कर दबो. So no variety category of candidate, because no one kind of hope of the candidate towards the organization. May the organization can call for the interview. So say kshetra re jo apply karthibe, now what will happen? Screening of application, while the organization will receive all the application through recruitment through jo sabu application receive kala. Now as per the requirement of the organization, the company can hold the application and rest of the application it may be rejected. Amar requirement kon thila? Jaha amar requirement ame fix karthile sei requirement ko candidate fulfill karuchanti, how many candidates are fulfill that requirement, then we can hold that much of application and rest of the application we may reject it. Got it? So that is a screening of application. Ame said suppose screen kar deba application. Once screening of application over, then we can go for the preliminary interview. Preliminary interview basically what? No, the organization it may adopt. Kon adopt karibo? Na in preliminary interview, the organization it may adopt the telephonic interview, or it may be web based interview. Web mane apna kon kaiba? E jo Skype वगैरह हम adopt करूचे, no? Or it may be the face to face interview also can be possible based on the preliminary. No, the company after screening the application, the organization, the company can call to the candidate, no, in the screening of the preliminary interview and through telephone, no. So you are basically shortlist for the the position of this organization. Koiki se kon karibo, call karibo to the candidate. No, in that particular area, while the company will call to the candidate in the preliminary interview, so what happened? So here also may some candidate, no, as per this, here the company at the time of preliminary interview, at the time of telephonic interview, or it may be based interview, the company will interact to the candidate as per the requirement. Some requirement they may, as per some requirement, the company will interact to the candidate. No, so at that time, some candidate may not give that much of information to the organization, recruiter organization. Dhara mu call kali, so kon kala mu jaha pachali telephonic candidate se type of information dei parlani. Some candidate will not pick the phone. Some candidate they switch off their mobile. So basing on this also, many candidates will reject in this particular area, right? That is a preliminary interview. It's a preliminary interview. It may be web-based, it may be telephonic, or it may be front to front. Whatever may be the criteria the company can adopt here, no? So here, so most of the candidate, आमी तो first reject कोडी करथिले, screening रे आमी reject कर देथिले, right? And जो आउ जहा बोलिला आमी कोडी गले ना preliminary interview. So preliminary interview रे मध्य आमे candidate को reject करिबा because of this criteria. कौन criteria आम adopt कले? No, the student may not give sufficient information as per the requirement of the organization in the preliminary interview, or it may be the student will not pick the phone, or it may be switched off, kind of things is there. So basing on this also, the company can reject the candidate, right? Tapre ame kon kariba na, then we can go for the application blank. Au jaha ame asile say to je best asile, then we can go for the next step. Next step ame kon kariba application blank. Application blank, no, we can adapt again in a two way. Duita way ame adapt kari pariba. Kon na application blank, the organization, the recruiter organization can send one blank form to the candidate through mail, no, through mail se gote blank form candidate ko provide karibo. Now the candidate will fill the blank form application blank no as per the requirement पूरा सेटा blank थिबो कोन कोन requirement से खाली लिखि थिबे जहा जहा as per the requirement of the organization no से माने खाली लिखि थिबे win your suppose for example हमें कहबा your qualification detail qualification your detail educational background no your details in the suppose your what the past experience kind of things your details related your strength your weakness no your hobbies no kind of things so empty कहि कि से पूरा गोटे form देथिबो it may send through email so basing on this the student have to fill the what the application form and send it to the company eta gote criteria hai paribo or else the student can go to the particular organization we can move there and there we can go there and we can fill the application form as per the requirement of the organization also सेठी के हमें जिबा जाकी तार जो application blank थिबो form थिबो as per the requirement of the organization we can fill it we have to fill it ताको हमें fill up करिबो हैला so एठी हे मध्य so if we will not give sufficient information as per the requirement of the organization जोटा कि ता वैसे हमें जो information न दे पारिले in the application blank no so what happened so the company can reject the candidate in this category also इस स्टेप रे मध्ये सिक्स स्टूडेंट को रिजेक्ट करिबार पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत अछि हैला सो दिस इज द थर्ड स्टेप ऑफ द सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस once application blank it may be over no application blank जेतेबेला आपण हमें फिल अप करि सारले then we can go for the selection interview selection interview selection test so selection test basically what we can say no it is a kind of different kind of written test adapted by the different kind of organization. It depends on the organization, what kind of written test they want to conduct for the candidate. See, if we will take the example, no, different organization, different company having different kind of interview. Suppose we can go for the banking sector, right? So in banking sector, the written test it may be different. One kind of written test they adapted. No, if we will compare to the railway sector, no. So banking sector, semane gote type of written test adapt korchonti. So if we will go for the railway, semane gote type of written test adapt korchonti. If we will go for the OPSC, they are adapted some kind of. If we will go for the civil service, they adapted different kind of written test, no. So ultimately, different kind of written test conducted by different type of organization, right? Suppose आमे कहि पे कि एटी क्लरिकल ना बैंक क्लरिकल रे हम अप्लाई करछे सो आमे खाली कोन करबा through written test we can basically what the company the banking sector can select the candidate only the written test is sufficient for this position no but if we will apply for the PO को जदि हम अप्लाई करछे so written test is not sufficient after written test we have to face the interview right suppose आमे OPSC जिबा OPSC रे हमें SSB अप्लाई करूचे SSB अप्लाई करछे हमें कोन करछे ना we can go for the written test after written test हमें कोन करछे ना इंटरव्यू जाउचे बट हमें जदी OPSC जाउचे से कोन करछी ना से खाली इंटरव्यू रे नै जाउचे से written test दरकार नै राइट सपोज हमें जिबा सिविल सर्विस ना हां जते हमें सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम सब देबा सेठी हमर कोन करछे प्रीलिम रहउचे मेन रहउचे देन इंटरव्यू रहउचे तीन प्रकार क्राइटेरिया रहउचे so prelim re general tomorrow asibo amar kono general question like reasoning mathematics no esabu question rahila main re asibo all that things related to your subject technical round ta jota rahuchi right and se duita re qualify kale we can move for the final interview so see dear students it's depend different kind of selection test is there different kind of written test is there ability test we can analysis here no what is your ability how much you are basically the candidate ability to judge the ability of the individuals right basing on this different organization can conduct this kind of test to judge your ability that is a selection test that is a written test one kind of no once the written test over and the candidate will select in the written test then they can move towards the selection interview once our written test over hela then ame mu कहली see this is the normal procedure eta hela gote process right एठी ame written test रे मध्ये क्वालिफाई कि ame जाई परिबा but companies jodi ame kahiba OPSC UPSC, so variety kind of company civil service ame variety organization adopted variety kind of test. So किए रिटर्न रो क्वालिफाई करके नउची कि रिटर्न पर हमर इंटरव्यू को हमें मूव करबा नो, बट अल्टीमेटली दिस आर द नॉर्मल प्रोसीजर। एटा हला हमर गोटे नॉर्मल प्रोसीजर। तो एटी कोन करची थरे जदि हम रिटर्न रे क्वालिफाई करले देन वी कैन मूव टुवर्ड्स द सिलेक्शन इंटरव्यू। सिलेक्शन इंटरव्यू इट इज अ पर्सनल इंटरव्यू हमें कहबा वन काइंड ऑफ पीआई, राइट। पीआई रे हमें कोन करबा ना सिलेक्शन इंटरव्यू, अगेन variety kind of selection interview, types of selection interview, variety kind of interview adopted by the organization हैला। कोन इंटरव्यू अडॉप्ट करची, सो सपोज हमें कहबा ना एटा डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ सिलेक्शन इंटरव्यू। सो सपोज हमें एटी कहबा टाइप्स ऑफ इंटरव्यू इट रिलेटेड टू 1-to-1 इंटरव्यू, नो 1-to-1 इंटरव्यू, देन असला हमर कोन सीक्वेंशियल इंटरव्यू, देन पैनल इंटरव्यू, देन apart from this directive interview, non-directive interview, mixed interview, situational interview, group interview, and stress interview. These are the different types of interview adopted by the organization, that is a personal interview, no, adopted by the organization to select the best candidate. Now what do you mean by this? What are the different types? 1-to-1, what do you mean by 1-to-1? What do you mean by sequence? What do you mean by basically what we can say the mixed interview, directive interview? What do you mean by this? I will explain in the next class. I hope tomorrow time e galani. दीपक बापा टिके ये 2-way कर देले रे, कार किछि जदी डाउट अछि।
ओके मैडम, ओके।
तो सब इंटरव्यू कहबी कमिंग क्लास रे। स्टूडेंट्स कार किछि डाउट अछि? हां
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम एप्लीकेशन ब्लैंक रो किछि उडे एग्जांपल देबे की?
एप्लीकेशन ब्लैंक हैला आपन को कोन करबो, धरंतु व्हाट्स नेम, आपन को डेजिग्नेशन, आपन को एड्रेस, आपन क्वालिफिकेशन, एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन, आपन को स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस एम्ति खाली लिखा आइतिबो। व्हाट इज योर स्ट्रेंथ, व्हाट इज योर वीकनेस, व्हाट इज योर हॉबी, नो व्हाट इज योर गोल ऑफ इन योर करियर, ए सब एम्ति गोटे फॉर्म आसीबो आपन पाखे हैला। सेही जो फॉर्म ता आपन फिल अप करिबो, फिल अप करि का जेबे आपन को नेम रो स्टार्ट करिके जहा जहा रिक्वायरमेंट थिबो ना सब आपन फिल अप करिवे, दैट इज एप्लीकेशन ब्लैंक। कंपनी जदि दिल्ली रे अछि आपन तो दिल्ली जाई के ब्लैंक फॉर्म ता फिल अप करि परिबेनी, आपन कोन करिवे से मेल कर दबो। सो आपन सेटा पूरा फिल अप करी कंपनी को सेंड करिवे। नै जदि कंपनी लोकली अछि से कोन करछि कैंडिडेट को डाकिबो, आसा फिल अप फॉर्म ता फिल अप करि जेबो। तो डिपेंड करछि द वेयर इज द कंपनी इज सिचुएटेड and whether they can send the application blank through mail or the candidate will go to the particular organization and fill the application blank. बुझि गेले ना?
थैंक यू
आउ कार किछि
लास्ट टा कोन थिला? प्रोसेस ऑफ सिलेक्शन रे लास्ट पार्ट टा कोन थिला मैडम? रेफरेंस
प्रोसेस ऑफ सिलेक्शन रे लास्ट ला एम्प्लॉयमेंट जोटा कि अपन जॉब पाइ जिवे, सेटा काली कि मु कहबी जाई नै आपन को टाइप्स ऑफ इंटरव्यू सरला परे हम जिबा। हां कोन कहिले
मैडम? जो रिक्रूटमेंट मेथड रे गोटेला इंटरनल मेथड, गोटेला एक्सटर्नल मेथड, आ गोटेला मॉडर्न मेथड। व्हाट इज दैट मॉडर्न मेथड?
मॉडर्न मेथड आर द वॉक-इन्स, नो वॉक-इन्स जोटा कि वॉक-इन हमें कोन कहिबा, नो वी कैन गो फॉर डायरेक्टली, सपोज वी द सम एडवर्टाइजमेंट इट इज देयर इन द न्यूज़पेपर, नो go to that visit that organization and basing on this we can face the interview. That is a one kind of direct method, no modern method are walk-in आपन को लेखा होनी एडवर्टाइजमेंट रे लेखा हितबो walk-in लेखा हितबो, नो त माने हमें कोन से देखिबा हमें हम रिज्यूमे जहां as per the requirement of the organization we can move towards we can visit that organization and we can face the interview, right?
Yeah,
that is the modern method.
This is Dusmanta here.
Ha कोन
Do you have any like standard question for the preliminary interview? Or we need to prepare that one for us for the organization?
See. The standard question for the preliminary interview, if you will visit website, no, some FAQs are there, frequently asked question, right? Frequently asked question, it is there in the website. No, if you will go visit the Google, no, the FAQs for the FAQs of the interview, no. So the frequently asked question, the format it is there in the website. So suppose mu example kohibi kon se format re thibo na, first all apna ko tell me something about yourself. tell me something about yourself. Suppose while you will attend the interview, the question the interviewer will ask to the candidate, tell me something about yourself. And that particular area, what you will, what should be your answer? So the question so answer right? Suppose for example kahiba ki no aguru to kahutile tell me something about your strength and weakness. Ajika date re kuha jauchi tell me something about your what are the strength, no? Means how many strength you are holding in yourself. 10টা around 10টা khande strength kontu au 4টা 5টা khande weakness kontu, no empty sabu kohanti. So basically the format it is there in the website. Suppose apanku question pachara jibo why the organization will hire you. Suppose what is your objective in your life, no? After 10 years where you want to see in yourself, what you can do for my organization. So these are the format, it is there in the website, you can download and you can prepare basing on this, no? Bujhile na? Hello? Hello students, बुझी गलो तो पिला माने?
Yes, ma'am.
अच्छा 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 रिक्रूटमेंट सब बुझी जाइछो? रिक्रूटमेंट सब बुझी जाइछंती?
Yes, ma'am. Properly.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so
मैडम से स्लाइड गुटे शेयर करी
मो फर्स्ट क्लास रे कहितली पुनी अगेन कहले
अच्छा मैम
आपण मानक
अच्छा,
टाइम हे गलानी. See, already we have completed the recruitment. What is recruitment? What are the different sources of recruitment? Method, type, सब आगला समान. So आपण ताको just खाली divide करिवे different factor रे. Now already we have discussed, and after recruitment we have discussed the selection. Now what is selection and what are the process of selection? Already we have completed. Now selection ta complete karini, no? Selection, the types of selection, then the rest part of the selection I will discuss in the next class. When selection complete hai sala pare, we will discuss the induction and orientation program, onboarding, that we will discuss in that particular area. ठीक अछि? So एतिकी मने रखिबे. Then thank you so much. हैला? आउ जा
शेयर कर देबे.
मैम
फास्ट नोट स्लाइड दी शेयर करिवे के?
किछि शेयर करि परिबिनी मु एइना कोनोसी स्लाइड शेयर करा जिवनी. सब क्लास सरिला परे सार डिसाइड करिवे कोन सेंड करा जिवो कोन सेंड करा जिवनी सेटा सार डिसाइड करके सब सेंड करा. हैला?
ओके
मु
शेयर.
कोनोसी स्टूडेंट मानको सहित हमर कोनोसी डायरेक्ट खाली क्लास रे डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन मटेरियल स्लाइड कोन पठा जिवो सेटा डिस्कशन नेबे सार. हैला?
ओके मैम, थैंक यू.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.